Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Welcome to Cruising with the Case Handler. And of course, it's a show on personal injury and immigration brought to you by the law firm Pollack, Isaac and DeSico, the law firm that has been around for 60 solid years, and it's the only law firm you will ever need. We'll be talking on personal injury, and we'll also be speaking on immigration. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to turn up your radios. If you're tuning into 93.5 WVIP FM, I ask of you to actually share with everyone, text someone, let them know, call them and let them know that we have the attorneys ready, willing, and able to answer any and all immigration questions you may have. So make sure you make it 93.5, the Link Up Radio Community Forum. All of this is brought to you by the law firm, like I said, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. And also, of course, the case handler himself is not in today. That's the personal injury attorney. That's the partner of the firm that handles all the accidents. He's not in today, but we've got the other attorneys here. Let's welcome the General, Annakie, as you can see on the screen if you're watching Facebook Live on David Squeeze Annakie, the case handler page and PPID's page. Well, welcome, Alan. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, man, wonderful. Back on the U.S. soil and feeling good. That's, it's always good when you're in the United States. You feel good, you feel secured, and we're even going to feel even more secured come tomorrow. Let's move over to Nelson Madrid, the Maverick. We call him the Maverick, not because he flies by his own rules, but because he's so good at what it is that he does in immigration. Welcome, Nelson. How you feeling, man?
Morning. I'm good. How are you?
You're in your office. You're, already working on immigration cases. You were speaking about one of the true success stories we had on the program. And we'd love to have that true success story back. But I'm quite sure you're going to be speaking with the marketing director real soon on that. All right. Nelson Madrid, ladies and gentlemen, one of the top attorneys and partner at the firm, PPID. Let's move over to Conrad Pollack, that looks like an attorney today. He's got his tie on, he's got his button-down shirt, and he's in his office with all the backdrop and all the stuff. What's going on, Conrad, Mr. Managing Partner? How are you feeling today?
Good. It was a nice long weekend, although we did work yesterday, but it's a beautiful sunny day, and there are plenty of sunny days ahead now that new administration is coming into power tomorrow. And we're going to talk about the various things in Biden's goodies basket, I suppose, with regard to what's going to be for immigration. There's a lot of news. I mean, listening to the news reports lately, immigration is first and foremost on his list, apparently.
I like that.
Things to do. So, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff ahead. Good day today.
Definitely. And ladies and gentlemen, everyone that's listening to 93.5 and watching us on Facebook, by the way, Facebook listeners, please, right now, I'm asking all of you to share to at least 20 of your friends' pages, groups, and so forth that you're a part of. Just share, because this show is extremely important, a lot of information. However, everyone who has not filed, in reference to their immigration benefits, I think now is the time to make your move. Call PPID directly and make that move. Listen, I can't implore you enough. Now is the time. Biden is coming in. There will be a lot of changes. I already know that. And you don't want to be caught with your pants down, meaning that those people who are in the system normally get ahead much faster than those who aren't in the system. Find out if there's something that can be done for you. And what you need to do, call the firm, get a discounted consultation. The number to call PPID at, the law firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, is 844-774-3529. Today is such an important day for everyone to call. Every single person out there that have questions on immigration, every single person out there that wants to get their status sorted out in the United States, soon to be of Biden, I'm joking around there, United States of America, please call the firm, ask your questions, ask Nelson, ask Conrad, ask Alan E.K., all right? Ask Andrea, ask Alex, ask them your immigration questions. The number, once again, be smart, make that call with that smartphone, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Also, I would like for every one of you to opt in by sending an email to consults@ppid.com. And I'm quite sure one of our marketers will pop the actual link on the Facebook pages so you can fill that out. So this way, when the newsletter goes out for PPID, you will be fully updated as to what's going on with immigration and other things with the firm itself. So make sure you email consults@ppid.com. That's consults@ppid.com and opt in, put your email and your name in, and you'll be fully updated every time the newsletter goes out, every week or every other week or so. Let's kick it over right now to Mr. Well, listen, we all have updates. Before we jump off and let Alan EK bring us up to speed with everything that's going on. Anything you'd like to say, Nelson, Conrad, before we kick it over to Alan?
No, I'll defer to Alan.
Okay.
Alan always knows what's going on in immigration.
I'd like to say something. It's
Go ahead.
we have so much airtime here, and we don't know what to do with it. And why is that? That case handler guy, he's somewhere, who knows where he is today, but he's left a big void in our airspace, and we just have to do our best to fill it. Right, guys?
Yeah, we have to fill the void right now.
Well, I'm sure you could do a stellar job, Conrad.
I'm quite sure you can. By the way, folks, they're speaking about Adam Handler. We call him the case handler because he's the top personal injury attorney on this radio station. He's a partner at the firm. He has settled well over $130 million. And we're just teasing him because he's not physically on the show today. But it would behoove me not to tell you to, of course, if you get into an accident, to only go with the case handler. We call him the shark. We call him the beast. We call him the hot stepper. And it's the same phone number for that powerful law firm, that exceptional law firm, PPID, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Before we kick it over to Alan EK officially, I would like to say, welcome, Zaina, to the firm. All right. We have a lot of ground to cover, and it's going to be a stellar year. Let's kick it over to Alan EK, the general, one of the top attorneys at the firm also. Alan, how you feeling today? Bring us up to speed, man. What's going on with immigration? Biden is coming in tomorrow.
Okay, let's talk about what's going on. First of all, a couple of announcements. USCIS has suspended all face-to-face services on Tuesday, January 19th and Wednesday, January 20th. So don't expect to go to a USCIS or talk to them. Tuesday, the 19th today, and Wednesday, the 20th, they're suspending all face-to-face services.
Why is that, Alan?
I think it has really to do with preparation for the inauguration. In other words, they're closing down, everything a day or two beforehand, and part of it is because of the upcoming inauguration. So we know that all over the country, they're going to be suspending services Tuesday, January 19th and Wednesday, January 20th, not just New York. I think it's every place in the country.
You don't think it has anything to do with these Trumper domestic terrorists that have been threatened?
It could also, because they're expecting trouble in a lot of different states. And so maybe it's kind of a safety measure also. Okay, the next announcement is something that's been present for a long time, but I want to remind people listening that if you are a permanent resident or you're a non-immigrant, you're required to notify USCIS when you change your address. A lot of people don't do it. You could have a problem if you don't do it, and there's a form called an AR-11, which you can get online. So remember, if you are a permanent resident, non-immigrant, change your address. You have to notify USCIS by filing this AR-11 form. Next announcement, and we talked about this previously, all international air travelers to the United States will have to show proof of a negative virus test before leaving, and this policy takes effect on January 26th. So squeeze, you got in before the deadline, but anybody else coming into the United States from outside has to show proof of a negative virus test before you leave to come here. And that policy starts January 26th. And that's for everybody. Any status, permanent resident, temporary people have to show a negative virus test. Okay. Now, let's talk about what's likely to happen once Biden comes in, because two things are going to happen. One thing, and we'll talk about it in detail, um, he's going to put in a flurry, and this is the word that you see every place, flurry, a flurry of executive orders. Plus, he's going to send legislation to Congress. Now,
What do you think those executive orders are going to be, Alan? What do you think those executive orders are going to be? And attorneys, how do you think that's going to affect the everyone?
I think hopefully executive orders are going to be positive, good things. And so, for example, he's going to rescind the travel ban on predominantly Muslim countries. He's going to order government agencies to figure out how to reunite children who were separated from families after crossing the border. But he's also, so there are two different things. How is change going to come about? Change is going to come about first with these executive orders, which Trump did a lot of, and that can be done right away the first day. And at the same time, he's going to send sweeping immigration legislation on his first day in office to Congress, providing what they call a pathway to citizenship for 11 million people who are in the United States illegally. I'm kind of wondering what they mean by a pathway to citizenship for 11 million people in the country illegally. But so two things are going to happen. And how is President Biden going to make changes? One will be executive orders, and he's going to do that as much as possible as soon as his administration starts. And at the same time, he's going to send legislation to Congress. And other presidents did this, issuing executive orders. But President Biden plans to enact a dozen executive orders on Inauguration Day alone, including the travel ban reversal. So you're going to expect to see a lot of different things coming up really quickly. But remember that.
Is it possible, and gentlemen, I don't want to use this word because when I use this word, a lot of people get their hopes up. But do you think it's possible that he might do the A thing?
Well, hang on. First off, Alan, just adding to what you were just saying, there are a lot of travel bans. I mean,
Right.
if there was one thing that Trump was good at, was banning people from coming to the United States. In the news yesterday or the day before, he lifted one of those travel bans on Europeans. So it's okay for Europeans to come to the United States and to get that test. He didn't lift the travel ban on Western Hemisphere countries yet.
No.
But wait, Brazil, I don't know, was Brazil included in the lifting of the recent travel ban? Maybe.
I think it was.
Well, the European travel ban has basically been lifted,
Yeah.
but that does not mean that has nothing to do with the travel ban, which is the presidential proclamation that has existed since last April, banning people from getting their green cards. That ban remains in place currently until the end of March 31st. But now that Trump lifted this European ban, maybe the political pressure won't be so much so heavy on Biden to not lift this other travel ban, since he is lifting the Muslim ban. There's so many different travel bans. I mean, that's all we do. We talk about these various travel bans. As I said, one thing that Trump was good at was banning people from coming to the United States. You know, that's one thing he was actually competent at. Not much else. In addition, getting back to your question, Squeeze, amnesty. Let's not call it amnesty. Amnesty carries a lot of negative connotations. There is no such thing. Amnesty, basically you come in, you make your application, you walk away free, everything's done, everything's forgotten, no matter what you did. That's not the case here. We don't know what the distinguishing characteristics will be with regard to this new proposed legislation, but what they're talking about in terms of an outline, it's going to be an 8-year process by which people can apply to get their green cards. We don't know what the requirements are going to be. I'm sure it's going to have some requirements that they have to have a clean criminal record and no fraud and so on, show that they've been paying their taxes and so on and so forth. But we don't know the specifics just yet. All we know basically is that it's targeted towards all the illegal aliens that are illegal people that are in the United States. 11 million is the most common count, although nobody knows for sure what the real number is. That includes DACA applicants, which is great, and I'm confident that's going to happen regardless. It includes people that applied for TPS, temporary protected status, which includes a lot of people that might have left. TPS has to do with people coming from countries ravaged by hurricanes or earthquakes or political unrest, and we have a lot of people in those categories. It's a specific country designation. Haiti was granted it, Nicaragua, El Salvador, several others, Liberia. The Trump administration has gone out of their way for the last 4 years to eliminate TPS and end TPS designation for people from these countries, regardless of how long they've been here. Some 20 plus years they've been in this country and established family and roots and so on. And the Trump administration just said, well, time's up, time to go home. Anyway, Biden is now not only going to continue TPS designations for these countries, but also proposing a way for them to get the green cards. The thing to remember here, legislation has to go through Congress. In order for it to become law, it has to go through Congress. That is not going to be an easy lift. But in Biden's defense, I've been doing this a long time. Again, I haven't been doing it 50, 60 years, whatever that Alan's been doing it, but I have been doing it 30 plus. And I've seen these things before over the years. Various presidents have proposed comprehensive immigration reform. George W. Bush, as a Republican, tried it, couldn't get it through. Obama talked about it, didn't do much about getting it done. The last time it actually happened was in the 80s when Ronald Reagan did it. And the thing is, what makes me optimistic is that Biden is the first president that I can recall who has actually come out and said, first day, basically, I'm sending legislation to Congress to get this done. Normally also, when these bills are proposed in the past, and I know Obama was particularly guilty of this, he tried to garner Republican support by adding to the provisions of, let's call it amnesty or pathways to citizenship, by adding provisions to enhance border security and increase penalties if you came in illegally and sanction employers more heavily. Biden has not done that. Biden's proposal, which again, he's putting forth basically right at the top of his agenda when he gets into office tomorrow, he's basically said, we're going to do this pathway to citizenship, and he hasn't added in there any specifics. In fact, I don't know that there's anything in particular at all about the negatives, about increased prisons and torturing immigrants when they cross the border and taking their kids away, like someone else we know just recently did. There was nothing about that in this bill, which to me, that shows me that's a sign of strength. He's coming at this position or to this position from a position of strength that he doesn't feel he has to do it, which is encouraging. Now, we'll see. There are going to be a lot of anti-immigrants out there, anti-immigration people in Congress that are going to oppose this, and they're going to fight it. And to get through the Senate, typically you need 60 senators to vote for it. The Democrats only have 50. And I'm not saying that all the Democrats are going to go for this proposal. The devil's in the details, as they say. But definitely, I am cautiously optimistic that this could happen. Certainly, it's the best chance that it could happen that we've seen. Obama, again, he had a similar situation when he first came into office. He had the Republican, he had a Democratic Senate, he had a Democratic House, but he squandered it. He didn't push it hard, and he tried to get Republican support, which there was no way he was going to get it. And the Biden administration has apparently seen that and learned from it. And they're not even going to try, apparently, at least at first, to get Republican support here. They're just going for it, which is encouraging. It's encouraging.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Cruising with a Case Handler. We're speaking on immigration today. If you'd like to reach out to the firm, the number to call to get your consultations in, 844-774-3529. You just heard from the maestro, of course, the managing partner, Conrad Pollack, speaking on his viewpoints as to what he thinks is coming with Biden coming in tomorrow. The number 844-774-3529. I say this to everyone out there. If you are seeking immigration benefits, if you've got questions, now is the time to get those questions in. You can place them on Facebook. You can call the firm, which is what I prefer. Get a consultation in. 844-774-3529. In my opinion, there's no one better than PPID. 844-774-3529. A quick question before we kick it back to you, Alan.
Okay.
Someone here has a question. It says, I'm in a relationship with an American citizen. We have made plans to get married, but he would like me to get a visitor's visa so I can get married and live with him in the US while waiting on my status to be adjusted. However, I was denied a non-immigrant visa twice, one as recently as 2019. If I apply for a non-immigrant visa again and is denied, well, will this affect my chances of getting a green card?
I don't think it'll affect your chances of getting a green card, but the problem is this, that if you've already been denied a non-immigrant visa twice, if you apply again and it's denied, okay. But if right away your American citizen fiance files a petition for you, the consul may be a little bit suspicious that, oh, you were coming to visit, and a day, a week, a month later, this guy files for you. Were you not telling us the truth? You said you were coming to visit. It looks like you were probably going to be coming to get married. So you have to, it's not a problem to file for a visitor's visa, but you have to be careful how soon he files for you. And maybe you don't apply for a visitor's visa and he just starts the green card case right away for you.
Gotcha. 844-774-3529. You can remember it easily by 844-PPIDLAW. Choose your weapons carefully. Immigration is a minefield, and that weapon should be PPID. Let them handle your case. 844-774-3529. Nelson, here's one for you. I am a 34-year-old married man. My mother, daughter, and one of my brothers are American citizens. My father is a green card holder. My mother has filed for me and my mother and my other brother unmarried. My question is, can I travel to the United States and continue the filing process there, or do I have to wait here in Jamaica? I would also like to know how long the process takes. My mother is living in Georgia.
So his mother is a citizen. Did I hear that correctly?
Right. I'm a 34-year-old married man. My mother, daughter, and one of my brothers are American citizens. Yes. The father is a green card holder.
Okay. So I believe that would be an F1.
Married, he's third.
Oh, F third. He's married?
Yeah, my mother has filed for me and my other brother unmarried. My question is, can I travel to the United States? And
right.
continue?
So he's not married.
He's not married.
Right. So it would be an F1.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So an F1, he's looking at about 6 years. No, you cannot come to the United States, as a again, it goes back to immigrant intent. You're going to come here as what? As a visitor and then just kind of stay. You would obviously go out of status. I can never recommend that anyone break the law or do anything illegal. So you can travel to the United States, but obviously you'd have to go back. And obviously eventually legalize your status back home or wait till your priority date becomes current, at which time you can legalize your status, but you can't stay in the United States, for 6 years and wait for that date to be current. Again, you would fall out of status. It's not something you would need a waiver because you would accrue unlawful presence. It's not something I would recommend.
Into the situation also, does he have a visa already? If he has a visa, he can use it and he could come in, but as Nelson said, he could stay up, he'll probably be given 6 months and that's that, if he's allowed in at all. If he doesn't have a visa, he's not going to get one. Right. When he goes and applies for his visa, the consulate is going to say, have you ever applied for your green card before? He's going to say yes. Tell the truth. When he says yes, they're going to say, well, sorry, you have to wait until your priority date is current and there's nothing we could do to speed your case up, period. If he says, no, I never applied for a green card, and they find out that he lied, then he's got a bigger problem because then he's committed a misrepresentation and that's fraud and needs a waiver, and that creates other problems. That'll even further delay his processing. So the bottom line is, if he doesn't have a visa, he's not going to get one. He's going to stay where he is until his case is ready. If he does have a visa, he can come temporarily, but he cannot overstay. If he overstays, he's going to hurt his case as well.
Gotcha. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Cruising with a Case Handler. The show is on immigration today. Before we get to the top of the hour, I'm about to kick it back to Alan EK right now. Dial this number, everyone. Listen, call the lawyers, set up that consultation, hire them, at least get the consultation in there. And then hire them. The number is 844-774-3529. A lot is going to happen this year. That's my opinion. A lot will happen this year. 844-PPID-LAW. You want to have the right attorneys behind you, filing your case, making sure they dot the I's, cross the T's, and do it right the first time. Not like hundreds, if not thousands of people have been screwing up their cases and then calling Nelson, calling Conrad, calling Alan and saying, hey, how do I straighten this out? What can I do now? Rejection of their applications and so forth. You don't want none of that. So call PPID. The number, 844-774-3529. Let me repeat the number, 844-774-3529. Make sure you check us out each and every single weekday right here at 9:30 a.m. and on Saturdays between 6 and 8, Sundays between 10 and 12. The phone numbers are blowing up. Hey, look, someone's called, right? Someone just called. Got to say much respect to that person with their name starting V calling. All right, quick one for you, Alan, and you can continue. This one says here, can someone with a green card live and work as an American expat out of the U.S.?
If you have a green card, you can leave the United States up to a year, preferably not more than a year. If you stay out more than a year, you could lose your green card. You could file for a reentry permit, which would allow you to stay outside the United States up to 2 years, no more than 2 years. But if you leave a reentry permit and stay out more than a year, it will break your counting for citizenship. So, and the answer is you have a green card, you want to work outside the United States, okay. But don't stay out more than a year unless you apply for a reentry permit. Try not to stay out more than 6 months if you want to leave the door open for American citizenship.
Gotcha. Well said, well put. 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-774-3529. For those of you on 93.5 FM, switch to my page, David Squeeze Annakie, or Pollack Isaac in the Secrets page, or the case handler. All right, let's continue right now here. Alan, you may continue with your updates.
Okay, well, we've been talking this morning about what's likely to happen when the President Biden comes in. And keep in mind two things. One thing is that on the first day he comes in, which is like tomorrow, he's going to propose immigration legislation to Congress, which would provide a pathway to citizenship for 11 million people in the country illegally. We don't really know exactly the details on what is a pathway to citizenship. Now, also, he will be proposing executive orders, which could do some good things on immigration. And Trump did a lot of executive orders, which did bad things on immigration. So you can expect the two things to happen right away. First day in office, Biden is going to propose sweeping immigration legislation. At the same time, he's going to propose some executive orders, which could do good things in the meantime, not changes. Now, also keep in mind a couple of announcements. One is that when you will lose your green card, or if your green card is expiring, you file a form called an I-90. And then immigration was giving people a sticker on the green card to extend the I-90. The new thing is that when you file the I-90, you get a receipt notice, and you can use that receipt notice, no more stickers. You can use the receipt notice to travel for work permits. So that's a new thing about replacing the stickers with these forms, which you'll be able to use to travel and work. Secondly, or in addition, there's been a backlog in biometrics appointments, because in most immigration cases, you have to go for a biometrics appointment, fingerprinting, and there are 1.3 million people waiting for biometrics appointments as of mid-December. So that's been a backlog, and that's kind of unfortunate, but if you're waiting for your biometrics appointments, it's going to take some time. Also, we've been talking about people who have removal proceedings scheduled. Now, if you're detained, that's a different story. They'll give you a quick removal proceeding. But if you're not detained and you don't have a date, they keep pushing the date back and back and back. So the latest date that you might have some action on your removal proceeding is February 5th. And that applies to the 3 immigration courts in New York, 26 Federal Plaza. There's another one on Broadway. There's another one at the detention center. So unfortunately, they keep pushing the date back and back and back. The latest date is February 5th, that you might have some action on your removal proceeding being scheduled. Uh, Health insurance is still requested, it's still needed. Biden may change that. A public charge is still there. The 944 form, Biden may change that. So those kind of things we may see in terms of executive orders. So the two things you're going to see right away from Biden are legislation that he sends to Congress to make good changes in immigration. And the second thing is executive orders, which he can do right away. So you're going to see some fast things. So by the time we're on again in another day or two, I will be in on Thursday. Hopefully I'll have some updates on what Biden did, what legislation did he propose to Congress, what were the details, what executive orders did he put in, because from day one, he's going to start doing all these things, and day one is the 20th. So those are some of the announcements. Keep in mind that because of a court decision, if you never file for DACA, you can file for DACA now, and you have to have been, to apply for DACA, you have to be born on or after June 15th, 1981. You have to have come to the United States before the age of 16. You have to be in the United States on June 15, 2012, and still here. No immigration status as of June 15, 2012. High school graduate enrolled in high school, have a GED, you're enrolled in a GED program, and no significant criminal record. So if you didn't file for DACA, you can do it now. And while Trump was trying to close down DACA, Biden has been very much in favor of DACA. And so also, the DACA applications for work permits have previously been only for a year. Now they're available for 2 years at a time. And DACA people now previously could get travel permit, go home, visit your parents, and come back. And if you are a DACA person and you go out and come back and you marry an American, for the first time, you can change here to permanent resident. So those are some good things about DACA. And if you have any questions on DACA, feel free to call us. If you never filed for DACA, if you did file for DACA, we want to know what's going on, what you can do. We're always available. Give us a call. And Squeeze has given you the number to call when we're available to talk to you.
Alan, that's an awful lot of information. Take a breath, man. Take a breath.
Okay.
Squeeze, the important thing that people who are listening should take away from today is that there are many, many very favorable events, favorable changes coming soon, tomorrow.
Right. I'm pushing the call. Yeah.
A lot of stuff that is going to be happening that is going to open the door to people that might have thought that door was slammed shut these last 4 years. So one thing I would say is, if you take nothing away from the show today, is you need to listen to us every day, hear what's going on, especially these next few weeks, because there's going to be a flurry of information out there. And what that means too is there's going to be a flurry of misinformation. You're going to hear from the notary on the corner on Astoria Boulevard saying, "Hey, call me, come and see me, give me $1,000 and I'll get you your green card next week." All right. Everybody out there, really be on the alert, because just like I said just now, there's going to be a lot of very favorable, positive information coming out. And they're going to be, as a result, there's going to be a lot of misinformation as well. So you want to get the straight dope on what's going on, tune into our show, and you will hear it as you're hearing it today. By the way, our case handler is not here today. Important question, and nobody's asked you. Are you down with PPID?
Come on, Conrad. You know me. I'm down with PPID.
Right. I wasn't sure there for a second, because nobody asked you lately.
I know, But anyway, great show, guys. I want to thank you all. Got one quick question before we actually end the show here. I want to squeeze in all the questions that comes in on the WhatsApp group.
You do that, though. You want to give it our phone number?
Yeah, 844-774-3529. 844-PPID-LAW. Quick question here. Can I apply for the N400 while in the process of renewing my green card?
Yes.
Okay. I am currently on, did I do this one? Yeah. I am currently on H-1B visa, but my mom had filed the I-130 petition for me back in July 2017 under the F-2B category. We just received an approval of my case and received a notice my case is being sent to the NVC for consular processing. My mom did not file the I-485 at the time of filing the petition, even though I was on the F1 visa at the time. I'm not sure what the next steps are. Can I file for the I-485 now?
Not current yet. In order to file for the 485, which is for adjustment of status, first off, the priority date for the F2B category has to be current. F2B right now, I believe, is in the middle of 2015. I think he said he filed in 2017. That means he still has a couple of years to go. So the answer is no. If they were up to his priority date, that filing date in 2017, and he's in status, lawful status in that H1, holding that H1B, then he could apply for adjustment of status. But as of now, it seems like he's probably a good 2 years away from doing that. He needs to maintain his status during that period of time. And then when eventually the visa bulletin gets to his priority date, his filing date of that I-130, then he can adjust.
Gotcha. 844-774-3529. This has been Cruising with the Case Handler, a show primarily on immigration today. And of course, it's normally personal injury and immigration. Wherever you are, Mr. Handler, hopefully you're having some fun. But do remember, folks, if you ever get hurt in an accident, make it PPID, make it the case handler, make it Adam Handler, the attorney, the partner at the firm that handles all the cases that are accident cases, that is. Make sure you reach out to him, 844-774-3529. And for immigration, I can't shout it loud enough. I can't say it loud enough. Now is the time to call the firm. Call PPID, get your questions in, get a consultation, get into the system, I say. And of course, with Biden coming in, many things will happen. You need to have a conversation with the firm. Do not go to those people on the corner of Gunnell Road, Eastern Parkway, Sutphin, all those areas. Go with the attorneys at the law firm PPID in New York City. The number, 844-774-3529. The address, 225 Broadway, New York, New York. Also with offices in Peekskill and Brooklyn. Make the link, make the connection, make it PPID, 844-774-3529. And be like me, I'm down with PPID. Thank you all for watching. Alan, Nelson, Conrad, thank you so much. Tomorrow morning, 9:30, I'm quite sure we'll have a lot to say. And then the following morning, we'll have a lot to say again. And Thursday, we got 2 shows, which we'll expound on. Thank you, Jeff.
A couple of things before we go. Number one, we've been talking about this proposed legislation that the Biden administration is going to be putting forth tomorrow or the next day. This is a proposal. It's legislation that has to go through Congress in order to be enacted. That is going to take time. The legislation, if it goes through, it will be months before it becomes law. Months, maybe longer. So do not listen to people that tell you that, hey, the law changed, come in, give me $1,000, you'll have your green card next month. Do not fall for that scam, because those scams will be out there. They always are. There are always unscrupulous people out there looking to take advantage of immigrants in these situations. Be aware, be alert. If you're not sure, call us and we'll tell you what the deal is. Fact is, again, this legislation, if, and that's a big if it happens, it will be months before it becomes law, several months before it becomes law, if ever. Number one. Number two, Squeeze, you want to talk about, we have something happening, an event happening on February 5th.
February 5th, we have the PPID Hound Forum coming, ladies and gentlemen. So I want for everyone to actually be a part of it by emailing consults@ppid.com. Not only will you become a part of that show on that specific day on 93.5, on Zoom, through Eventbrite and so forth, but you will also be able to get in on the newsletter. The newsletter will be sent to you, which is very, very important. Once again, consults@ppid.com. There is no other show on this station, off this station, that is going to be giving you as much information as PPID. So make sure you email consults@ppid.com. February the 5th at 6 p.m. We'll start a little bit before that, just to rev up the show. But we will be talking about the different areas of law at the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Make sure you save the date, February 5th, 6 p.m. New York time. We will be here with all the attorneys, and we're going to be talking a lot about what it is that you need to hear. So make sure you save the date. Email us also so we can get back to you, 844-774-3529 or consults at ppid.com. It's going to be a great day, gentlemen. Thank you so much, and we'll catch up and speak again soon. Enjoy your day. Go
Good night.
Biden.